When we talk about ASUU strike, for Nigeria, it's necessary. But in a sane society, ASUU strike would be unnecessary. In order to make the government answerable to their responsibilities, it is necessary we go on strike.
Can you educate us on why ASUU must go on strike in Nigeria? Basically, what are the instigating cause of ASUU strike in Nigeria?
Our government lacks continuity.
On several occasions, we have signed that agreement, and at the end, nothing is implemented. So, apart from the issue of government not meeting up, the issue of trust is another problem that will make this strike to continue to reoccur.
The issue of putting the wrong people in the right place, bringing corruption into educational system, I would say it's trust.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is mclinda. Still on the series ASUU in Nigeria. To better understand this episode, I recommend you watch the previous video. With me on the show are lecturers from different universities in Nigeria. We have Dr. Ray, Mr. Stan, and Mr. Ima. As presented in the first episode of the series, some Nigerian students see ASUU strike as a curse, while others as a blessing for the future. This is because most Nigerian students do not see ASUU strike or the plea by ASUU as a win for them, thus raising questions like, I am a student, what is my business with ASUU strike and the federal government that my education should be delayed? And also raising comments like, we are the verses upon which the elephants are fighting, representing the verse as a student and the elephant as ASUU and the federal government. This goes to show the students' mindset towards ASUU strike in Nigeria. I would like to ask our distinguished lecturers, is this narrative or belief by the Nigerian students true or false? And if true, please, what can you tell the Nigerian students to change their mindset? Thank you.
Well, it is their opinion. It is in their mindset that they are the ones suffering. But in the actual sense, they should be grateful for the struggles of ASUU, because 75% of the struggle is for the students. An average Nigerian student just want to get to university and get out without being trained in order to meet the needs of the society. I can give you an example. The students are not entirely to be blamed, because university is just like a dumping ground where whoever that pass WAEC will just come and they'll come and dump him in the university. While we know it's not everybody that should be in the university. But that aside, when students believe that they are the ones suffering, that they shouldn't have such narrative. They should actually be thankful for the struggles of ASUU, because what we are doing as ASUU is to make sure that the students have an enabling environment to study, to live. You can't enter a typical Nigerian hostel whenever they need assessment. You know, it's a nice struggle. ASUU came to federal government to complain about what is happening in the university. Federal government thought it was a joke, that this is not true. So they decided to send a team to go and evaluate what they have in the university. It isn't from the part of the federal government. The team came back and gave a recommendation. So most of the things you see in the 2009 agreement are actually from the recommendations of the monitoring team federal government constituted to go to universities. And that was what we see as the needs assessment. Students don't have proper hostels. Students don't have proper sanitary system. You see the university whereby 100 students are having access to only one microscope. Can a student of microbiology be comfortable that he can actually adjust and set up a microscope for microbial visualization? No. They can't even adjust the microscope, and yet they just want to graduate. So that is the problem we are having. What sometimes I ask myself, is it that as we let's just forget about these things and go back to classroom? But at the end of the day, the society will suffer, because that is what ASUU is trying to press. Because if you're not well trained, if I'm training you and you're not well trained, if I die tomorrow, or if I give birth to children, you still be the one that will lecture my children. Imagine students that are not well trained. Of course, they will take the mantle from you. In which hands are you living the destiny of your own children? That is the problem. Are you comfortable that your student can actually take your place? If as a lecturer you believe that your student cannot actually take your place, then you're failed. So that's what I'm trying to say. Students, if people should be in this struggle with us, there should be a solidarity from the student. For example, the student can actually sponsor a bill that will prevent public servants from taking their children abroad for education, and also the aspect of medical tourism. Students can also make sure that the National Assembly enact a law that will prevent public servants from going abroad for medical tourism, so that whenever they have 6 siblings or 6 children or 6 spouse, they will know that they have to treat the person here in Nigeria. So if they know that yes, you can't go abroad to school, for example, if the Minister of Education has a child in a tertiary institution in Nigeria, the child will definitely tell the father that we don't have good facility to study. Of course, the man want to make sure that the child has a good educational background. But because of they go abroad, they don't care. They don't care. And that is what ASUU is trying to fight. Okay, we saw the one that just happened recently. I don't want to talk about it. I'll just say about the issue of Ekuremadu. They don't care because they can afford the fees. They can afford the university fees. So they don't care about you and I. So what ASUU is trying to fight is that the students should have that taste of good education that these people also have. So that when they come back, the common man children can actually compete. When you're living in a situation whereby the gap between the rich and the poor is very wide, what do you expect? They will come and rule you. Sometimes they say love, karma, love, karma, love, karma. The other time we found out that the son of Abacha won the PDP governorship primaries for Kano State. That was the son of Abacha, whom father we have recovered a lot of loot in this country. So where is the karma? Is the karma actually missing direction? My plea to the student out there, if you're listening to this, please, this is an opportunity for you to have a solidarity with the academic staff union of universities. Their struggle is for you. Their struggle is 75% you and 25% them. To me, it is a selfless fight. If ASUU should go for only salary alone, and federal government, whatever they want to do with the university, federal government will honor it. For example, the salary wage bill of total lecturers in university is 12 billion, and academic staff union is actually agitating for 200 billion in universities every year. Which one do you think federal government will go for? They will go for the 12 billion, which is small and they can manage it. And if the university wants to decay or rot, the university should go ahead and rot. It's none of their business. So if we are to agitate for salaries, federal government will quickly honor it and let everybody will just sleep and nobody will talk about it. But putting 200 billion every year into the system, they don't have that kind of money. That is just the truth. Do you know that some students think that this money is actually coming into the pockets of the lecturers? That's what they think. Some students will tell you that it's enough for their pocket. For crying out loud, last time they said on TV that they've given ASUU 30 billion, and everybody will just be shouting, wow, 30 billion for how many lecturers? Now you see my siblings or my relations coming to meet me, and we heard that they gave you guys 30 billion. Not knowing that I might not even collect up to 150,000 naira or 200,000 naira from that how many billion. And for crying out loud, this thing is not a gift that is given to me. The Bible said the salary of a man is not given to him as a gift. It is something that I've worked for they call it academic earn allowance. It is what I've earned that they are giving me, and they are giving me as if I should be thanking them. That is the problem. The students out there should have a solidarity movement with ASUU. The struggle is for you, the struggle is not for me. I've chosen my career path to teach. For you as a student, I believe you have not chosen your career path. The future is still wide open for you. So university is the place where you should get trained in order to choose a career path that will be beneficial to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Stan, what's your view on the subject matter?
If governments would honestly implement all that is in that agreement, the university will be a different place altogether. For instance, just like what Doc was saying, when you have a well-equipped library, a well-equipped lab where we have enough equipment, it's not just one microscope. 75% of what ASUU is struggling for is basically for the good of the students. Part of the things ASUU is struggling for is for us to have a good working environment, a good classroom, enough classroom. Another thing that is the struggle of ASUU is the proliferation of universities. The ones you have not been able to equip them, and you are signing up or you are establishing new universities. You look at what we have in our country today, you find out that what government is planning to do is they want to cripple universities the way they have crippled secondary school and primary schools. If you come to Nigeria now, the private secondary schools works more and better than the government secondary schools. And that is what they're actually planning to do at the university level. A few weeks ago, I read on news that they established 12 new private universities. The public universities we have are not working. And you signed for establishment of 12 new private universities. What are you trying to do? We are now trying to divert the attention of education into the private sector. That is just the problem we have. Just like Doc said, the students should be happy that ASUU is doing this. Before now, I used to think like students, but now that I came into the system, I now discovered what ASUU is actually doing. And that is why we are now carrying out all this sensitization program. With that, students will be informed of what is actually happening, because most students are not aware of what is happening. So I concur with what Doc said, that students should actually be happy and join ASUU in this struggle. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Not to miss out on subsequent videos, please like, share and subscribe. Also, click on the notification bell so you get notified once a new video is published on mclinda's channel.
Thank you so much. Watch out for our next video.
Show them how